Back in the middle of August, we went to Anglers El Dorado to film a promotional video using the Deeper Fish Finder. Whilst we were there, we caught plenty of carp, however the big catfish we went to target eluded us. It is now the beginning of September, and me and Chris are making a return to paradise. So I'm going to go through my mix that I'm going to be using. I've left my bucket at home, so I'm improvising. The mixer bag is going to be my bucket. So, I've got numerous things to put in my mix. You saw them in the previous little bit of video there. First off, got some 10mm halibut pellets. I'm going to put an entire bag of these in. They're nice and oily, rich in omega-3s, and full of fish. Catfish love them. Then, I'll put in 1 tin of sardines. Get all the oil and that in there as well. This is quite messy, but they will smash up in a minute. So that's the first tin of sardines in. Then, I'm going to put some spicy tuna and chilli boilies in, if I can get the bag open. Then I'm going to take the teeth out if I do any more. What pair of scissors? Oh, I know what I'll do. See that?
Stabs himself in the leg.
So then we add some spicy tuna and chilli boilies. I'm going to add about roughly half a kilo of these in. Oh, it's stinking already. On top of that, I'm then going to add another tin of sardines, including the oil again. And then I'm going to add some red krill liquid, followed by a bit of hemp oil, and for some bizarre reason me and Chris were discussing whether we thought this would work, but we thought we'd give it a go anyway. Well, I'm giving it a go. I've got some salmon paste. Try and get the entire jar of that in there. It's not going to be very nice to do, but it's just going to add that fishy, stinky flavour into the ground, into the lake bed, and hopefully that'll draw in the catfish. That's my thinking anyway. I'm a bit of a catfish noob. I've only ever had one, and it was around £13, so any fish that I have out of here is probably going to beat it, so it'd be really nice to have one. I was really disappointed I didn't have one last time, but that's fishing for you. It's not fishing unless you lose, you know, you don't catch some sometimes. So yeah, that's, does smell quite nice though. Now I'm just going to put a bit of lake water in with it, shake it all about, bash up the sardines so that they're all like mushed up and, you know, stodgy, like in pieces, and then I'm just going to just lay it out all over the lake bed, and hopefully that'll do me a catfish.
Right then guys, it's the early hours of the morning. We've sat through some pretty horrendous rain.
Yeah. And finally, into what is definitely a catfish. There's no way this is a carp.
It's taking line.
Oh, it's not a bad fish either.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's Kev's PB, that's for sure.
It's not going in the net. That's not what it's doing. Oh, no, don't go back here again.
That's a 20 pluser, easy.
There we go. Yes!
Well done.
You probably can't see a lot of that, but yes! See what it weighs.
It's a big old fish.
Yeah, it's big enough.
That poked him. Kev's got him, folks. A giant overgrown tadpole. Weigh him, look at the head on that.
It's a mad. Look at how big its gob is.
It's got a weird mark where he's been up before, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's obviously been like...
Nice mate, let's weigh him up. Although not that it matters too much for these, they can last out the water for bloody ages.
Beautiful though. Right. Yeah. I know what to do now.
Sweet, let's get some hold him up for us if you can do it.
My brain works, that's the problem. I was literally just going back to sleep. Not the rod rattled. Been up all night because it's been raining. Just been sat there sort of chilling out on the sun, in the sunshine. In this, see, my brain's not working. Just been sat there chilling.
Right, turn your light
Listening
off.
to the rain.
Lovely.
God, big old thing, isn't it? Ooh. It's all head, like you say. There's no body to this thing at all. It's just like,
whoa. There it is, folks. Kev's giant overgrown tadpole.
Can you...
Yeah, it's kicking off.
Trying to give me a kiss. Stays down.
Right. It's a bit dark. I hope you can see that as well as it looks like you can see it. But we'll get some pickies anyway. A bit awkward to hold, isn't they? We'll give you a close-up of it. As long as Kev's unhooking that, that's for sure.
And some.
Yeah. Has he turned around?
Yeah, he's turned around at 480 degrees. He's swimming out backwards. See it?
Yeah.
Oh, no he's not. He's trying to swim out backwards. Come
Now
on.
he is. He's going. That's alright. He'll be alright with that. They can swim backwards, can't they, cats?
Yeah. He's swimming forwards.
No, he's going forwards.
Is he still in there?
He'll still be in there.
He's half in there. See him?
Proper unit.
All head. All head and a big tail. Yeah, go on then, off you go, pal.
No, that's swimming back into the bloody thing. Go on, off you go.
There we go.
That's the one.
Back into the deep. He's gone.
That's a small one.
After returning the catfish, the rain started to die down a bit and we could finally get some sleep. That was until Chris's alarm woke us both up at dawn. From the start we could tell that this fish was a lot bigger than the one that I hooked the previous night. Well, it's been a horrible drizzly morning since I had that last cat. It's been raining again. I think we've both caught up on a bit of sleep because it was quite minging last night. And it looks now like it looks like Chris is into an half decent catfish. Is it a good one, Chris?
It's strong as anything.
Oh, we might both have PBs. He's still out by the pads, all the way out there. It's just dragging, it's almost dragging Chris in. It's that powerful.
What's in here? Oh my god, this feels so heavy. Oh my days. Oh my, did you see the boil out?
That's some bit of cat. Cat.
Oh my days, like what the heck? I can't lift it up. Come in. Come in.
Oh my days, ain't a bad fish that. She's coming to the net now.
Well, I think she is. Not giving up yet. Oh my days. Oh my god. What is that?
That, my friend, is probably your PB.
Oh my god. Look at the size of that. Oh dear. Yes.
Get in, bud.
Oh my.
You waited a long time for it, but at least it means we can go and play with the koi after this.
I don't need to. I can't put up with another fight like that.
Well guys, I think Chris has outdone me a little bit. You can just see from the size of its mouth there, just how big it is.
Have you got any forceps, Kev?
Yeah, of course I have.
I have some forceps.
Yeah, of course you can.
It's in an awkward place. The barber sucks. Oh no, I got it.
Got him? Ideal. That is a chunk of a catfish there.
Wow.
My friend, well done.
I might have my PB there. Okay.
That's a fair old fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll give you a hand getting it in the sling, shall I? So Chris is just weighing his fish there. There's a score on the doors. 45 and a quarter.
No way.
45. 45 is settling on 45. 45 pounds. Biggest fish ever then, Chris.
My biggest ever fish.
Yeah.
That is great. Whoa, I don't know what to say. Oh my days.
Absolutely awesome. recording you and holding it. Just recording you. Well, Chris has made mine look like a tadpole. Look at that. There you go. Second session success. 40, did I say 44 or 45 on the last video?
Doesn't matter.
44 or 45 pound of Silurus glarnis, Wels catfish. Took it on worms, didn't you?
Worms, yeah.
What a magnificent creature.
That gob.
Absolutely awesome, mate. Absolutely awesome. As Chris just stated, his biggest ever fish. What an absolute monster.
How long is it? There you go. That's how long it is.
That is pretty beast, isn't it, eh?
Very well behaved. On the bank, anyway. Get in. Sweet. Get a couple of photos and put it back, I suppose.
Nicely done, mate. Absolutely amazing, mate. Buzzing for you.
Can't believe it. I thought it felt big, but I didn't think it'd be that big. Whoa. What a monster. A monster from the deep.
Off it goes to fight another day. What a great way to start the morning.
There it goes. Whoa.
It almost slaps you in the face as well, mate.
Yes, we've redeemed ourselves. That's the thing.
Ideal, mate. Well done.
Yes. Where do we go from here?
I don't know really. Where do we go from here? Buzzing from Chris's capture, we got ourselves sorted and had some breakfast and a brew. By now, the rain had stopped and the sun was beginning to break through the early September mist. Then, all of a sudden, Chris's alarm was off again. Well, Chris is into his second fish of the session, but it's not a catfish this time, it's a carp. And he said it didn't look a bad one.
Well, we found out last time that the carp in here seemed to like really big halibut pellets, and this one was on a really big halibut pellet.
So there you go. So there you go, there's Chris's carp. Chris said it was going to be just said about 14 and I said about 12, and as it was 13.6, so ideal. Nicely done, Chris.
First one of the trip, carp wise. Caught a load of them last time, but the guys over in these swims last time weren't really catching many carp. They were only catching cats, so can start catching both. That'd be quite nice. So
yeah, we've both had PB cats now, so a couple of carp won't hurt.
yeah. Sweet.
So as it transpires, Chris actually caught the biggest catfish in Carp and Catfish Lake too, according to the bailiff when we talked to him earlier. So we've decided to divert our attention firstly over to the koi lake to see if we can catch a koi to show you guys, and then if we're successful there, then we're thinking about going up in the Orf Lake and trying to catch a decent golden Orf. It's really annoying though, because these like little Orf, little koi that are sort of £5 are probably more cute than the catfish are and they're harder to catch. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Fingers crossed one of them slips up and we can get one of them on the camera for you. Maybe one each would be nice, and then we'll pop up the Orf Lake and try and catch an Orf.
Kev's been getting frustrated by these koi. As have I. I've lost one.
They're proper cagey feeding fish, aren't they?
They are. But Kev's finally managed to get one. It looks like
he's... I said earlier, it's probably easier to catch the blooming cats than the koi.
He's got it out of the worst bit, which is the pads. They're quite thick, these pads, and although they're not massive fish... Oh, it's very colourful fish, that one though. Wow.
I've never caught a koi before, not a proper one.
Wow. Well done, Kev.
Ideal. So there we go, look. Perfection in miniature. Beautiful little orange koi. So quite happy with this one, even if it is only like £2 or £3. It's just absolutely beautiful.
That tail is literally awesome.
Yeah,
different colours on its tail.
Chris loves its tail.
Yeah. Well done, Kev.
Thank you. We'll get a little picky and we'll slip it back.
Okay.
So we're into night 2. Unfortunately no more koi were forthcoming from our little koi pond visit. Chris is the first one to actually connect with a fish. We've both had a couple of runs that we've not connected with. And he's in. So, here's Chris's culprit.
Well then guys, I'm not even lying. That fought so hard for a carp, ridiculous. So we were thinking it was going to be a catfish with the way it fought, but it's actually a really nice looking common. What was it, 16 and a half?
16 and a half pound, wasn't it? Yeah.
We thought it'd be a bit bigger. It's a really nice proportioned fish as well, but big halibut pellet. So yeah, they're living up to their reputation at the moment.
Let's get a picture, shall we?
Yeah, get some pickies and get back to bed. It's a really cold night tonight.
Yeah man, I'm running out of battery now. Well guys, we didn't actually get any chances to get any pictures of that common. That's in a sack just down there in the margin. Because literally as I got the camera around my neck, Chris's left hand has ripped off now. That's on his worm rig, the one that did him the 45 last night, well this morning. So
I'd be very surprised if this is a carp.
yeah, I mean it might be, but
it's possible.
The likelihood is it's a cat, so we're gonna have to see what happens now. Ooh. Chris is bagging up. So Chris, what have you got here?
I've got a very angry 15-pound catfish.
Nice mate. Well done.
Very different coloration to the two bigger ones we had. It's a lot more like yellowy sort of colour, this one. Sticking up his weedy little dorsal, look.
He is, isn't he?
And they're a bit easier to handle when they're this size.
They're a bit calmer as well, aren't they?
Yeah. And actually, got it in quicker than I got the carp in, so that's testament to how hard that carp fought. Because these things don't normally give up so easy. But let him go. I want to go back and eat some more rudd and stuff, don't you, mate?
Let's get a picture or two, shall we?
Yeah.
Catfish marked the end of the brief feeding spell, and as the sun broke through the early morning mist, we decided that we weren't going to be greedy. We began to pack up to go home. We had returned to paradise in fine style. However, before we left, we decided we were going to walk you through the rigs we caught on so that you can have a go at catching these fine fish yourselves.
I'll run us through his rig that he used to catch the 45-pound catfish yesterday.
Right, so it looks a bit strange, and I actually pinched it off a video that I watched on YouTube, which I will try and put the link in the description to. But same as what I had with the pellet rig that was in the last video, on the deeper video. It's got a fairly decent size lead running up and down on some lead core there. Catfish like it, so there's like minimal resistance. You get a lot of like weird funny takes with catfish and you miss them quite a lot, so you want as minimal resistance as possible. And this is the actual rig. Catfish quite a lot, they feed up in the water chasing around small fish and stuff, so if you're using like a bait that moves a lot like worms or leeches or anything like that, it's best to try and pop them up off the bottom. So I've got quite a long length of armour braid there, just like I was using on the pellet rig, and it's popped up with one of these Fox polyballs that you can get from any tackle shop. Most people use them for pike fishing, but it suits this rig quite well. Basically, it's just a really long hair on a hair rig with the polyball at the top, and that pops it up, so when it's all in the water it will sit like that off your lead, so your worms are about a foot off the bottom at all times, moving really attractively. And yeah, catfish come along and they just go, and you do get some pretty good hook holds on it. You wouldn't think you would, but you do. And because it's barbless hooks here, the one little extra tip I'm using is I've got a little rubber maggot on there, because otherwise your worms will wriggle off the hook. But apart from that, pretty simple, and yeah, it did me that big one, so it obviously works.
Okay guys, I'm going to run you through the rig now that caught me the 23. Alright, it's not a 45, but it still caught a fish. So, I'm fishing mainline with a small lead. Like Chris says, catfish, they feel resistance, so the small lead is so that if they pick the lead up, they don't feel that much resistance. But I'm fishing mainline as opposed to lead core leader, straight through to a buffer. That'll just keep, you know, the weight of the lead off my knot, which will stop it from getting damaged. Then I'm fishing a very small quick link on the end. And then, what I'm fishing on that is a very simple rig. It's essentially just a length of this armour braid, tied knotless knot to a size 4 hook on one side. And on the other side, I've just tied a big loop in it, overhand loop. So what I used was a piece of meat. I used an inch or so square. And what I did was I just literally threaded it onto the rig, like so, and I pulled that through, and I just pulled the whole lot up into the meat. But a little thing that I did do before I finished off was, as I pulled the hook into the meat, I just pulled it tight like that, and then I just got 3 hair stops, and I just put them underneath the hook, and I just pulled the hook down on into it, just because it gives it that little bit of extra strength on the cast. I mean, like, it's not come off on the cast, but it just gives you that little bit of peace of mind. and that's what did me my cat. So there you go, just literally a massive chunk of meat on a hook. Ideal. We hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it. If you did, please drop us a like, subscribe for future content. Tight lines.